since it first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Screen 80! Watch the screen, watch the screen! Watch the screen! No, check that. We're on Mike 52 right here. Watch twist!
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
They run it with Carson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
I'll go special! 56 is the Mike one.
On third down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. He's got some. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Here we go. 180! Quit talking about it and bring it.
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the number 1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season. Really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Here we go.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run with a former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Strip that ball. Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson stepping up. He'll try and run. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
15. Check 14. Good job right there. Check 52. Come on.
To throw is Wilson on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come out here in the eye. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Kill. 95.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Mike 54. You.
This time Wilson will throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. And Dixon, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Switch.
7-7, our score after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Here we go. What do you need? I'm here all day.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let him know.
On first down, here's Breida. And some room to work. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Here we go. 180. Come on. I got him. Check it out, Reed. One, Omaha.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Check 25.
Second down, McKinnon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Check. Fresno.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A carry now for McKissick. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. Right? We always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Go 14. Watch that. Check right side. 54. You must be treated.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Let's pick up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get hot.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll toss it to Breida. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Here we go, here we go. 54. Go, go, go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 54, right there, 54 miles.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. And not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Get in the weight room! Get in the weight room! 21.
They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come out here in the eye. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Well, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson dancing to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. 65. Safety creep.
On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
21. Here we go.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
You got nothing.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
No. Check that. We want Mike 52 right here. Well left. 52's the Mike, boys. 52. Where's 52?
Now Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Seahawks, first down.
Bang out. Mike Starks, look slow. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Mike 52.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Being chased out left. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 43-yard line.
Check 52's the Mike. Check 52's the Mike.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, it's caught right side. Dixon. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson buying time to his left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Touch 50. 52,
Mike 52.
You better bring it.
Now Wilson steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there's no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. Breida, he'll try the right side. 13 yards there and a Niner first. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Let's go.
Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 180.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. Here we go. 180. 54. Man, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check. Check. 52, right? 52. Come on, D.
Now it's Wilson. And a little floater there is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
56 the mic, boys. 56. It's our time. It's our time. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out right at the 35. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Grenade! 56 right there. Left. I'm coming.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Hey, 0. 56 the mic.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Quan Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former 5th-round pick. I remember that game, December against Denver. He had that monster first half, 210 yards. Did not have a single catch in the second half, but still those 210 yards were just 4 yards shy of Shannon Sharp's single-game record for a tight end. Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers! George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, He's to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he's just saying something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The Seahawks take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. After the sack here, 2nd and 11.
It's 2nd down.
Got it.
Mike 56.
Wilson completes it to Dixon. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Right there, 56. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Wilson being chased out left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
56 to Mike. 56.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On 3rd down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And that's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to haul it in is Kittle. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's a gain of 25
He's been the go-to guy, and they needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down now, McKinnon. He's got daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing is Wilson. Now a desperation. This is caught inside the 15. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
36 power.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. The first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. This is Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
It's 3rd and 10.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the 49ers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.